Okay, so anyway, first of all, I'm all hot and sweaty because today I wasn't cleaning headstones at first. I was planting these little Florida, I call them transplants, from my yard. And they're native to Florida, and they're not just like vines. They grow beautifully, and so they're free. And I planted them at about 20 of the headstones today. And then I went back to this spot over here next to me where I've driven by it several times over the past many years, and I believe it is a burial with no headstone. It has pavers, brick pavers, in the exact same length anyway, and width, that a casket would be in the ground. So I took video of that area, and I'm going to take it to the church who operates the cemetery and see if they can find on their plot. So now, this brings me, I've been here for about an hour already, this brings me to John S. Womble's headstone. This was one of my first headstones I cleaned probably over 3 years ago. He is a U.S. veteran, so John Womble, thank you again for your service to our country. I see it says you were born May the 14th, 1838, and you died May 9th, 1911. It's barely legible. I can believe I can even read it. I'm going to go ahead and attempt to clean your headstone again and see what we can come up with, John. I did find a couple of pennies on the ground here which belong to you, so I'm going to put them right here for safekeeping now, and I'll put them back when I'm done. It is a beautiful day here in Florida, Central Florida. Very muggy. We go from winter to summer right away. So it seems. This is actually the first headstone I'm cleaning since probably January, when I got COVID. And then traveled to North Carolina for my father-in-law's death. Oh, none of these are working. Anyway, the past few weeks that I've come here, rather than clean headstones, what I've done is laid, I call it fresh faux flowers. I did spend, oh gosh, over $100 on flowers to lay here at the cemetery the past few weeks. And I can't keep doing that, so that's why I came up with the fresh Florida vines. And then I walked by Mr. Womble, Mr. Veteran Womble, and I thought, I can't walk by your headstone again. I need to clean your headstone. They're doing a bunch of widening of the road right outside the cemetery across from the high school. It looks like a totally different place to come into, but also now you can really see the cemetery and all of the flowers, the pretty colors. Somebody has to bring life to the cemetery. I do believe that the souls who are laid to rest here absolutely appreciate having visitors, whether you know them or not. It's all about sharing life. Mr. Womble, I know, is listening to me talk. It's not even necessarily about me talking to Mr. Womble, though. I talk to all the souls here. Mr. Womble, U.S. veteran, died in 1911. I wasn't born for another 70 years. Okay, this is really dirty. very old headstone. It's got a lot of pores in it. So when I spray my solution, it just all gets soaked up. I have been watching a few other people who clean headstones, and they do it like in 2 seconds. Perhaps I could learn to do it in 2 seconds, but I actually enjoy the process I've come up with on my own. For me, it's not about wham bam, thank you ma'am, getting it done fast. It's about spending time with each of these souls. You may not otherwise have visitors. Yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna get this stuff off the bottom. Oh my gosh. Not quite sure what I got myself into. Mr. Womble, this might be why I've neglected you all this time. But now that I've started, I definitely cannot give up. And I believe that's the very same motto you had in life too, especially being a veteran. When you start something, you gotta finish it, right? One of the reasons I never wanted to be buried is because, well, it's a common reason. People don't want to be in the ground. We think about life. Nobody wants to be buried alive. So I always wanted to be cremated. But during these past several years of cleaning headstones at the cemetery, I've begun to think more like, well, we kind of need somewhere to literally have a final resting place. And I'm not so sure it should be in somebody's family room or kitchen or in a closet. I need like an actual place to come worship life, even if it's life we never knew. Because I believe even in death, you should still be remembered. It's called preserving history. And I know Mr. Womble was one of the greatest persons in Oviedo in his time. I never even looked for where the hose is. I hope it's around here somewhere. Mr. Womble, Mr. Womble. You deserve to be cleaned up. Your headstone. And some of those videos I've watched where they use like the straight scraper, a headstone like this, you can't use the straight scraper on because it's literally like cement with crevices everywhere. I am sweating so bad. I might be running under that hose, Mr. Womble. Okay. What I'm gonna do is go find a hose. See what we've started here. how the hose just comes this far. Thanks, Mr. Womble. Helping me out here. Now I can really see what I'm working with. Honest, like I was saying earlier, I really wasn't even coming to the cemetery to clean headstones today. But Mr. Womble, I just simply could not walk by your headstone again and not pay it any attention. I may not be able to get it pristine today, but I can at least start. And there is some